I'm out ice fishing, trying to catch a couple walleyes, and I'm looking for a new spot to put an ice castle. I want to talk to you guys about how to be more efficient on the ice, both with finding spots and ultimately finding fish. How to be the most efficient at doing that. So in my opinion, the biggest key to being the most efficient when you're fishing is, this might sound like common sense, but it's to fish more. Rather than, drilling more and more holes, tinkering with your baits, whether that be size, color. First you want to do is you want to drill 2-3 holes, get your rod set up, get set up in a place where you think there's going to be some fish coming through, and you have to fish it. The second key to that is you want to spread out. So I drilled 2 holes today, one where I have my active jigging rod, and then the other one I have a dead stick, about 100 feet to the left of me. And I'm just seeing whether these fish are going to be moving and relating more to the edge of the point, or if they're going to be relating more to that inside turn in the bay. So using your time more effectively and more efficiently is ultimately going to mean that you're going to get better use out of your time rather than wasting it on things you probably shouldn't be doing. So always be mindful of what you are spending your time doing. In a video I made recently, I got a lot of flack for it, but I said that changing the color of your bait isn't going to make a big difference. Now I'm saying that relative to the time that you could have spent doing something else, such as changing the actual presentation, profile, and action of your lure from, let's say, if a jig isn't working, instead of changing from whatever color you have to another one, change it up so you do something different where it's more subtle or more aggressive. Try to either entice those fish to bite with an aggressive reaction strike, or tone it down even more and try to go more subtle so that you can finesse these fish into biting rather than just changing the color of whatever bait you're using. I think you can spend your time a lot more wisely changing the presentations of your bait. You spend a whole lot less time, tying on baits and actually be presenting your baits to fish more and more effectively. So what I'm going to do today is put that all to use. Just drill 2 holes, spread out, have 2 different presentations going on, and put some time in, wait for these fish to roll by and start to catch them. This one's hot. Oh yeah, oh, that's a big one too. It's not that big, but it's not that small. Is it a pike? That'd make a lot of sense if it was a pike. It is a pike. I knew it. I got so excited too. Idiot. Well, that was my only spoon. Tip number 1, always come prepared. I did not, so the bait that I moved away from the last time it came out, because I was losing a bunch of fish on it, we're gonna have to revert back to that. It's just a small little tungsten jig. You can see how little that hook is on it. So the draw usually is because the shank of this hook is so small that it conceals the package of the minnow and the jig together, so you don't have like this big elaborate piece of meat down there. You just have basically what looks like a minnow swimming around doing its thing. The subtleness of the jig, I don't know if they don't see it at all or if it just isn't as obnoxious as a normal jig, so they like it a little better. They do bite this thing a lot better, but your hookup ratios with it isn't incredible, but this is all I've got, so we're gonna make do with it today, which is fine. We'll be okay. So the only difference now is I'm gonna have to make sure they take it a little bit longer. I'm gonna give them some more time to take the minnow rather than setting the hook right away. Now you see when I put that thing on there, there's not a whole lot of hook exposed. Now when you set the hook, the minnow usually rips off and you'll drive a little piece, but there's not a whole lot of hook to grab onto there. Oh yeah. I hope that one's not a pike. Is it? I think it is. Double piked? It's acting like a, totally is. Yep, double piked. If I find a frickin' sweet pike spot, yeah, if you want some average sized pikes, you know who to call. Oh, we've got one coming in now. I see one. As soon as I stood up. There we go. Nice. As soon I moved my dead stick and I saw one all over it on my live scope. I got it close enough. Sweet. There's a bunch of fish down there now. It was like a dead sea for a while, but it is sunset, so sweet. Get a new minnow and put it back. I can't wait to be in an ice castle, all nice and warm, just sitting on the couch. I think it's gonna happen sooner than I think. I just checked the ice today. We have like just under 10 inches where I am right now. So that's getting pretty close. I usually put the shacks out on about 12 or so. So I got a couple cold nights coming up and that might do it. So you can see where that shelf comes down, and then this would be the mud basin. That's where we are right here, about 30 feet away from where that shelf touches the break. And I have my dead stick right up here against it, and that's where all those fish are relating to, is super tight to that edge. Normally you're fine being, 20, 30, 40 feet away from it, but today it's making all the difference to be super close to it. So in a spot like this, let's say I do catch a few more and I figure I want to put a castle here, what I'll end up doing is, the way I'll set it up is I'll have the back up against the break here and the nose out this way. So I'll actually have it literally where my holes are. Yeah, didn't get any bites down that way. And I'd seen a few fish like cruising by me and actually going up towards that break, and they weren't really passing by me or coming towards me. They were just kind of cruising by 10 or 20 feet away, and were relating more to that edge. So I decided to drill a hole there, put the dead stick down, and within like 2 minutes I had a bunch of fish all over it and caught one. Oop, two. There we go. That's a heavy one. And there's another one down there. Okay, maybe I changed my mind. Maybe this is somewhere I want to. Oh no! Brutal. There's still another one there. So there were two big ones. And there's a fish on my dead stick too, it looks like. Okay, maybe I changed my mind. Maybe this is somewhere I want to put a shack one day. That is not a big one. Looks like we got a couple more down there too still. I'm gonna eat it good. Need the pliers for you. See if I can hurry up and get down there again. Sweet. Got a pretty nice mark down there. I'm gonna get back down. Just try to catch it. Oh yeah. It's happening. Things are happening. I use braided line a lot. And when you're fishing outside, even when you're fishing inside, it helps your bait get down there faster if you strip it off the tip of your rod like this. Just because it gets hung up on your spool so bad, especially when it's frozen, but also after you catch a fish and it's a little tighter on there. Doing this will help your bait get down there just a little bit faster if you've got a fish down there that's half swimming away that you want to try to keep entertained. Okay, well I think that's it for me. Overall, decent night. Had a few fish roll in, I just wasn't quite set up right where I needed to be right off the bat. But we got that adjusted, caught a couple fish, and I think it might be something that I would try fishing again before I put a shack on, but it's definitely promising. The whole point of today's video is to try and help you guys be as efficient as you can when you go fishing. I know not everybody has the luxury to fish as much as I do, and I'd like to try and help you guys use your time more wisely, more efficiently, and ultimately spend your time catching more fish. So I hope some of the things that I talked about today help you catch more fish, help you be more efficient, and help you break down some areas, some spots a little quicker, and spend more time fishing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.